Pelvic stabilization is kind of a lame area of fitness, but it's a super important one. Especially if you're a runner or you're super active, we really want to make sure that you're getting all of the muscles that stabilize the hips nice and strong. So we're starting off with clamshells. Now, a few things that are really important. You want to make sure your hips are stacked right on top of one another, and as you're opening up that knee, you don't want to roll back into your hips. So keep the hips nice and stable and focus more on opening as opposed to the closing. It's not really an inner thigh thing. We're working on the outer hip. Next, we're on to lying hip abductions, also known as Jane Fonda's, because they're like the old school Jane Fonda kind of video. Again, you want to have your hips stacked right on top of one another, and it's easiest to do this lined up against a wall. So you've got your shoulder blades, your bum, and then your bottom foot and your heel of your top foot against the wall. Really important to make sure that that top leg is going straight up and down. Don't let it come forward or backward as you're going up and down. That's going to be the tendency, and we don't want to do that. Next up, we have bird dogs. So get on all fours and then extend one arm forward and the opposite leg backward. The key here is to really make sure that you're keeping those hips stable. So don't let the lower back arch up because you're trying to kick the leg up higher or anything like that. Just use those lower abs to keep everything nice and tight and try to shift as little as possible from hip to hip. For our last two exercises, we start off by heading into a glute bridge. Keep the weight in your heels and use your glutes and hamstrings to lift those hips. Don't arch the lower back to get them up higher. It's not so much about height. You're not going to be really working anything if you're using your back to get those hips up. Really focus on the glutes. Once you're done your last one, stay at the top. And now, again, keeping the weight in your heel, you're going to bring one knee towards your chest and then lower it and do on the other side.